Okay, in this video I'm evaluating how SAP Business Objects Web Intelligence, or short WebI, works with SAP HANA. So I start the Web Intelligence rich client standalone, which is, in my opinion, a contradiction in itself. Thank you very much, One Voice, for this creative name. And I am presented with a couple options of data sources to connect to. Now, I do not find database or SAP HANA. So first try as a newbie without business object certificates hanging in the office is maybe analysis view, like analytical views. What strikes me here is that the logon to the business objects backend server takes forever here. We are cutting that, but it takes 1.5 minutes to log on. And now I'm seeing some folder structure, and I won't find any HANA content here. So it turns out that business objects maybe cannot connect to HANA directly, but only via a universe. Now, we didn't build a universe, and I cannot build a universe in WebI directly. So what I need to do is I need to start yet another tool, the BI platform information designer, which is in BI4, which replaces the universe builder in BI4. Universe builder is still around, but documentation says use this tool from now on. So I create a new project, call it S-Flight. First thing is I need to connect to my HANA database, so I create a new relational connection. It's very easy. I assign a name to the relational connection. I pick a driver. Fortunately, they offer SAP HANA database. I choose to connect via JDBC. Enter the logon information and the host name and port of my HANA database server. This is all information I should get from my HANA administrator, which in this case is myself. I can test the connection. The test failed, okay, because I forgot the port number. So enter 30,015, this time it works. I can finish. Now I have a local connection, and I can publish this local connection to our business object server via publish connection to repository, log on to the server, and this time it does not take 90 seconds. It's like just a second. So my connection is published, and now I can create a universe. So, oops, I don't find universe here. Turns out I need to create a new data foundation first. And it took me quite a while to figure that out. I am not just pretending not to be a business objects expert. I'm really not a business objects expert. So build a new data foundation. I choose my connection, and I see the tables in the system by schema. I can just drag the tables, like the bookings table, the airlines table, can drag that in, can create joins between tables by just dragging a field onto another field. Nice feature that business objects can detect the cardinality of a join, and it really does a good job with that. For the examples I tried, it detects the cardinality. So what else can we do? We can expand the tables here and directly see the fields. I can check if my universe or data foundation is consistent. It tells me, oops, I need to define primary keys for my tables. Okay, now while I'm defining the primary key here, let's think, why do I have to do this at all? It could detect the cardinality of my joins, which is not defined in the database in SAP HANA, but it cannot detect the primary key of a table, which is part of the SQL to create it. That seems a bit weird, but okay. So I'm defining my primary keys. I'm checking the integrity of my view again. Just turn on all checks. And it shows absolutely nothing, which means good, no errors. I can save this data foundation, and I cannot publish it directly. Now, it turns out on top of the data foundation, I now need to create a business layer. So I create a new business layer, call it flight bookings again, and I pick the data foundation I have just built. Click Finish, and I see the join in the bottom of the screen here. I can see all the fields, and now I can turn fields into measures, which are then the key figures for my analysis. So I choose the luggage weight, the amount in local currency and in foreign currency to be my measures for my universe. And I also need to pick the aggregation function here, otherwise it won't work later on. And I learned that the hard way. Don't show this here in the video. So I can save that, view this business layer, and then I can take this business layer and publish it to the repository again. I can run the consistency checks again. Nothing means success. It's a bit hard in the project tree to figure out which is which. The only thing you have is really just the file extension. But I guess after a while you get used to it. And now, after publishing to the repository, I find this business layer as a universe. So I can go back to WebI, find it as a new universe after refreshing the universe list, and I can start to build my report. It shows me the attributes and measures, and I can just simply drag and drop or double click the measures to put them in the query result here. So I choose the airline name, the booking class, first business or economy, and the amount in local currency to build a very simple report. Now what I need to do is I run the query. First I want to make sure that we are only using data from one client by defining a hard filter here. I can pick the filter criteria from a value list. That's actually pretty nice. It shows me only the available clients. I pick 800. Now I run the query. So this takes again more than a minute. I edited the video, so it pulls all the records from the HANA database into BobJ, and it shows me a predefined report. Two things strike me here. First, the column width of the local currency amount is not wide enough, so I need to edit that right away to see some data, and we only see data from American Airlines. Now, how come? I looked into everything in Web Intelligence and WebI, couldn't figure it out. Turns out I need to change my universe definition, because the default setting of the universe definition is that it will restrict the query result to a certain number of records. Makes kind of sense, because otherwise it takes forever to refresh, but we really want to see the full result, right? So I uncheck the limit size of result set option and save and redeploy that universe. I don't run the consistency checks here. Just deploy, override, yes. Go back to WebI, create that new report, pick airline, class, and amount again, run the query, and yet again only American Airlines. Now there may be a smarter way to do that, but I actually had to close WebI and start it again. Maybe a refresh of the universe list would have done. It seems something was cached, so I just restarting it. It's all those little things that make it a little bit annoying to work with it. So I'm logging on again. I'm waiting for 90 seconds again, cutting that out in the video. And I can build my report again. So carrier, class, and amount in local currency. Run the query, wait for quite a while for business objects, WebI to like really populate the data from the HANA database into the universe. And now we have a report here. So again, I need to make the column a little bit wider, and I need to like aim really well with the mouse here. Otherwise, I drag the wrong stuff around the screen. It's unfortunately very easy to mess up your report by dragging the wrong control. So this table looks okay now. Let's create a chart. I use a stacked bar charts to break down the numbers per airline and per booking class. So this part, yeah, trying to get that out of the way so we can see a little more. This part is really nice. So I drag the carrier name on the x-axis. I drag the amount on the y-axis, and like it updates and refreshes in place. I drag the class into the bar chart area, and it immediately guesses that I want to use that for the stacked bar chart. Break it down. I don't know why it shows the economy class white twice here in the legend, but that part of editing the chart is pretty well done. So that's nice. And I can position the chart, I can change the size of the chart. It's all very easy. And let's get a table back. Let's use like one of those cross tables that shows the booking class and the columns and the airlines and the rows, and then the amount. And yet again, I managed to screw up my table somehow, so I have all those extra rows. And again, the default choice for the column width is not quite fitting. So I can get rid of those extra rows. I can just delete those here. So deleting this row. Deleted my amounts as well, but I can just drag that back in. And now we have a nice chart and a nice table. The video is about 15 minutes long, but it actually took me a week to figure all the stuff out. And I guess as a business expert, I would rather not do it.